what was kind of some of your takeaways? I know it was such a roller coaster of a game. You're up 19, and before you know it, they're down 15 by halftime.
Yeah. Well, let me preface it by saying this. Everyone who's ever taught me about the game says be very, very careful not to make it too big of a deal about one game. One game is a. Having said that, in my opinion, worst, most disappointing.
So Emily said
it was a very costly,
deflating,
very costly loss
with what was on the table. I don't
and
want to
it's
be
almost
overly
like they went to sleep.
Yeah, I don't want to be overly dramatic here because again, it was one game. They can.
I know where you're going.
Up out of the hole.
But you got to think of it though, John, as a playoff game.
100%.
The opportunity costs were massive.
To me, there were people that played in that game last night that just punched their ticket out of here.
Whoa!
That's how bad it was.
Whoa!
It was almost to the point of indescribable. At one point, Michael said, I said to Michael, I would pull a Phil Jackson or a Greg Popovich when they got mad.
Take those guys out.
Hockey substitutions. Take all 5 of them out at once.
Line change.
And he never did it. Darvin never did it. But those guys just stopped playing.
Well, there'll be people wondering, you said players who punched their way out of town. There'll be people wondering if Darvin coached his way out of town.
Well, I didn't say players.
People have been wondering that, by the way, since the start of the season.
I'm saying
that John didn't say it.
I know you didn't say it. I want to make sure it's clarified. You did not say that, John. But I know...
No,
there were a lot of people.
I'm actually agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying that I'm not limiting this loss to just the players.
Okay.
I think that loss was incredibly discouraging.
Because there were no adjustments made either.
There was no timeouts called. I mean, there was no.
They never made De'Aaron Fox go right.
Wasn't it like a 50-22 run at some point?
Listen. They go on a 10-0 run to close out the first quarter.
Yeah.
And they outscore the Lakers in the second quarter 44-20. So it was 54-20 over a course of 14 minutes.
That's just a joke.
And I think what you said, John, and doing the pregame show with Michael, there was this hype around the game. Like, hey, this is...
And they came out like they were ready.
Chance to get within a half of the 7.
This is one of the big ones.
At one point, the score of that game was Lakers 30, Kings 11. And I'm gonna say this a lot today. I'm trying really hard not to make a big deal out of one game.
Mm-hmm.
But that was ridiculous.
Yep.
It was a playoff-like atmosphere.
Yep.
They come out of the gate, they go up 30-11, and they stop playing.
Yep.
No defense. Mace.
They completely went to sleep.
It was. You know me. I'm never at a loss for words.
Right.
Points in the paint.
Ugh.
Okay.
Yep.
Lakers 50. That's pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
It's not bad.
Yep.
Half your points in the paint. That's good. Kings.
Yep.
76.
Ugh. Tell me about the rebounds.
Well, I don't think those were as bad.
That's 55-38.
46-34. But their rebounding's been terrible lately. But the defense, there was no defense.
Yep.
They're offensively, LeBron and AD had to do everything. And when AD got into foul trouble, Rui kind of bailed him out by having a big offensive game.
Rui had a really good game, yeah.
But I shouldn't have to say this because all the Lakers know it. The coaches know it. The players know it. But this is the Los Angeles Lakers. 10th place is not okay. And if you guys don't want to be here, Rob's proven he'll cut bait.
Sure.
I mean, he'll cut ties. And that was abominable. It was the worst loss of the season for me.
Yeah.
For me. I don't know what you think.
It was terrible. I mean, the run, because the problem was they had such a big lead that you felt like, all right, they're
like Rui said,
coasting.
they relaxed.
They picked up right where they left off with OKC, and all of a sudden it is a collapse, or as you would say, a collapse. Now, you said cut ties with people. Let me just say, I think last night sealed the deal. Darvin Ham will not be here next year.
I think that's premature, and I'll tell you why. He still has 18 games to dig out of it. He still has them. But did you see, to your point,
yes,
did you see anything last night that would indicate that's what's going to happen? That they're going to dig their way out of that 10th spot?
No. They feel like the 10 seed to me. They feel like the legit. And by the way, schedule-wise, it feels like that's where they're going to wind up. They can't drift out of the 10 because they got a cushion there.
I agree with you.
At worst, they can be the 10. But if that team winds up the 10 and gets 2 road games against the teams that are 7, 8, 9, there is no way they're even getting into the playoffs.
And
you
shouldn't have to point that out.
Right.
That was obvious. They win that game last night. They're a half game behind Sacramento.
Yes.
Now they're 2, and they've blown the tiebreaker, and they got to play them next week. By the way, Mace, tomorrow night, Milwaukee. Best defense in the NBA since the All-Star break. Now, they got boat raced.
Yeah.
Milwaukee did. So maybe the Lakers show up tomorrow night. Maybe they play like they did against Oklahoma City and dig themselves out
Sunday,
of this
no
hole.
Karl Anthony Towns now.
Right, so that's a break.
Yep.
And then next Wednesday, we got to go play these Sacramento Kings at their place.
And they got our number.
It's
Now, look, at some point you say it does come down to our guys playing for their coach. And last night they were not playing for Darvin Ham.
or how about playing for yourself?
Well, playing for but honestly, you need somebody who can at least make some adjustment at some point when they're steamrolling you. I mean, do something different. They're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. The hole got deeper and deeper and deeper.
And it was...
I'm finally on the bandwagon with all the fans. And there's so many fans who are I'm done with Darvin.
We should take calls today. I know that Greg will hate it, but we should take calls today.
I don't hate anything.
You hate us.
No, I love you guys.
Yeah.
I do. Ireland and I fight a lot, but I love
You
you
hated
guys.
me on
the
Tuesday.
day you dressed him
you
down.
hated me.
Yeah, the day you dressed me down.
No, you hated me.
This is the new
He
thing.
didn't dress you
I'm
down.
I'm the sheriff. I'm going to dress everybody down.
Absolutely not.
Greg,
I had a conversation.
Greg, we've been venting. What did you think?
I thought it was an absolute disgrace. And this is what happens plenty of times against some of these higher teams. When it gets to guys that have bigs that are physical with Anthony Davis and just in the middle there, they tend to do very well against them. Domantas Sabonis owns Anthony Davis. Jusuf Nurkic, whatever you say it right now.
Jusuf Nurkic.
Jusuf Nurkic owns Anthony Davis. Anybody that has a big physical big owns Anthony Davis and this team. The team with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, as great as those two are, should not be in the 10 seed, and these things should not be happening.
Well, let me stick up for AD a little bit. The whole Laker defense is built around AD as the rim protector.
Yes.
And he was out a lot last night because he had 4 fouls early.
Because of the physicality from Sabonis.
He ended up playing 34 minutes, which is about his average.
Yeah.
So he kind of came back into it. He finished with 14 points and 11 rebounds.
Not good enough.
But here's where I think, Greg, you're making a little bit of a missed connection. You see Sabonis' numbers, and you see Anthony Davis' numbers. You guys watched the game. You saw De'Aaron Fox break down whoever was guarding him. It didn't matter.
Right.
Malik Monk breaking that. And so what happens is when those quick guards get to the rim or get into the paint, Fox had 46 points.
Right. And by the way, Sabonis, how many assists did he have?
A bunch.
A bunch
he had
of
a triple-double.
He had a triple-double, so he had a bunch of assists, too.
He had 16 points, 20 rebounds, and 12 assists, Sabonis.
Pretty dominant line.
Fox, and I gave him 2 more points than he had. He had 44. 44 points for De'Aaron Fox. So, Greg, every time De'Aaron Fox gets into the paint, which was last night pretty much wherever he wanted to,
He has to make a decision.
Anthony Davis has to slide over and help. And then he just shovels the ball to Sabonis, and Sabonis gets a dunk. That's not all on AD. That means he did his job. He slid over to cut off Fox, and then he did. And then after a while, they stopped cutting off Fox.
Right.
When AD went out of the game, nobody helped. And it was just an incredibly discouraging loss. And then LeBron goes out with a bad ankle.
Right.
And I'm thinking, wow.
Oh, yeah, it goes out with an ankle, but it was late in the game, and it wasn't. I mean, hopefully it's something he's dealing with game in, game out. He said, some days he didn't feel anything against OKC. Last night he felt it towards the end of the game, and with the game out of sight, why expend minutes there? But I just think as a Lakers fan, I was incredibly discouraged by what I saw last night, given the fact that they could have been a half game within the 7. Now they're the 10.
And think about how well they've been playing lately. They were 10-4 in their last 14 games coming into that. They had just come off a game where they beat up OKC, who at the time was the number 1 seed in the West, and that game really wasn't close. Then you jump on Sacramento and go up 30-11, and you quit playing.
Right.
I wish Darvin would have done the Phil Jackson thing and taken all 5 of those dudes out, including LeBron and AD, just to send them a message to say, guys, you got to wake up. This is, in essence, a playoff game.
Right.
And you're not competing.
Yeah.
And then LeBron and AD have been great. You know, everybody rips them in previous years for not playing enough games. Those guys.
They can only do so much.
Right.
They've been out there a lot
that's
this
what
year.
I was just going to say.
I mean, at some point, the supporting cast has got to rise up and
Other
play
guys,
with some fire.
Other guys have got to play. And by the way, they're not going to be the ones who won't be here next year.
Right. Oh, no.
LeBron
Those
and
guys
AD
are coming back.
LeBron and AD have earned their money.
Yeah.
It's everybody. And Rui played great last night.
Rui was
I'll
excellent.
say that, too.
Rui was excellent.
But if you're
LeBron
not.
doesn't, right?
What's that?
He doesn't have to come back.
Well,
up
but
to
it's
him.
it's up to him.
But
yeah.
it's like the indications are the smoke says he's likely to
I
be
mean, if
back.
it keeps going on like this, and they keep Ham, and they keep what's going on.
Nah, I think he wants to be in
kinda
LA.
just-
Don't you think
Well,
he wants to be in
remember,
LA?
Greg, remember
but I
this.
just say he has his choice.
Remember this, though. Rob says, if we take Rob at his word, he says that all decisions he makes is a partnership with LeBron and AD,
Right.
which means he's consulting them. So they're in on this stuff. But because they've been playing so well lately, and because they were coming off of that win over Oklahoma City, I thought they were moving
Me too.
this direction.
Yeah.
Up the standings.
Right.
Now they're in 10th. Every team in front of them. Golden State beat them recently. Sacramento beat them recently. Phoenix beat them recently.
Yep.
Dallas beat them not too long ago. I've been saying to our listeners for the past month, because the Lakers have been playing well, I would take the Lakers to win a 7-game series against everybody in the West except Denver. After last night, my confidence on that whole thing is shot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like him to beat Phoenix in 7. I don't like Phoenix in the 7-game series. I don't like him to beat the Clippers in the 7-game series. I understand they've had a couple of wins against the Clippers this year.
They're 3-1 against the Clippers
But
this
no
year.
Paul George in this last one, and LeBron had to pull off a magic act in the fourth quarter.
No Zubats too.
No Zubats. Oklahoma City, I would feel good about that matchup. Minnesota, I don't know. We're going to see them on Sunday. The point is, if they play like they did last night, they're not beating any of them.
Right. If they play like they did last night, they won't get out of the play-in tournament.
Right.
And-
And if they're the 10, I don't think they get out of the play-in tournament.
All right. So, Mace, you know the name Woody Hayes.
Of course.
Okay, the longtime Ohio State football coach.
Yes.
Greg, do you know who Woody Hayes is?
Yes.
Okay.
He's on and around the horn. He does all that stuff.
No, you're talking
No,
about Woody,
Woody
Page.
Page.
That's who I also thought. You
yeah.
were saying.
Woody
Ryan,
Hayes.
you've never heard the name Woody
no,
Hayes?
Woody Hayes.
No,
he's
I
a-
instantly
he's
thought
a
So
that
Woody
guy.
head
Hayes
coach.
is a very
Head coach.
famous college. He's dead, but
Yeah.
he's a very famous college
Yeah.
football coach. In the 60s and 70s, Ohio State and Michigan was as big of a rivalry as you could have. Woody Hayes was the coach at Ohio State.
Yep.
Bo Schembechler was the coach at Michigan. And Woody Hayes used to have a saying that I've often believed in. And this is what I'm holding on to today because I'm so mad at the way the Lakers played last night. Woody Hayes used to say, nothing cleanses the soul like getting the hell kicked out of you. In other words, if you lay an egg, play terrible,
Right.
get your ass kicked,
Yep.
that should serve as a wake-up call.
Right.
I am very anxious and very excited to see how the Lakers play tomorrow night against Milwaukee because that is the number 1 defense in the NBA since the All-Star break.
Yep.
Giannis is playing. Damian Lillard, who eats the Lakers alive a lot, is playing. And if they don't come out with a fire and intensity, and you always say this, it's not that they lost. It's how they
Yeah,
lost.
that's how you lose, yeah.
If they come out and play against Milwaukee like they did against Sacramento,
They'll get absolutely boat raced.
the whole season could unravel.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm hoping that performance and fans at Crypto leaving in the third quarter
Yeah.
and booing them on their own court in the fourth wakes everybody up. And they come out and say, we're not going out like this.
Yeah.
We just got the hell kicked out of us, and we're going to get up and we are going to fight. Fight! Don't let De'Aaron Fox dribble down the middle over and over and over and over again. What were they thinking? He scored 44 points doing the same move. It was just so frustrating. And hopefully they're as mad as I am.
Yeah.
I think they are. And let's see what happens tomorrow night.
So-
Star effing driven town.
While you were saying that, I was trying to imagine what it would look like if Woody Hayes was on Around the Horn.
Okay, so I got a little mixed up there. I know who Woody Hayes is.
Those guys, Greg, are about the same age, by the way.
Woody Hayes on a round. He would punch somebody. Like do you know that's how he went out? He punched a Clemson player in a bowl game.
Was that when?
That's when he was done. Punched a Clemson player on the field during a bowl game.
All right,
but
you're
see,
done.
he had fight. All right, Johnson, we're going to take calls.
By the way, let me before we go to this, I'm not. You can tell I'm like not having it today.
Right.
Doug in Riverside, you guys are amazing. How do you not blame LeBron for anything? He is the supposed leader of this team, but he couldn't lead a horse to water. He's the only star player that never gets blamed for 14 performance. Unbelievable. Doug, you're unbelievable. Go listen to somebody else. Here's LeBron's numbers. 10 of 16 from the field. 31 points. 13 assists. You're going to criticize LeBron for playing on a bad ankle? What are you watching?
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
You cannot in any way trace any failures of this team to LeBron James. He has been, I don't know, he's played most games, right? He's maybe missed, how many games do you think he's missed? 8, 9, something like that?
I don't even think it's that many.
Yeah, I mean, he's been out there every game, and he's been their literally
Again,
winning
Mace.
games because of him.
36 minutes. 10 of 16 from the field.
Right.
All right? 10 of 10 from the free throw line. 13 assists, 31 points. And Doug in Riverside wants to blame LeBron. You hate LeBron, Doug. This is a you problem. If you've got problems with LeBron, look in the mirror. The guy scored 31 points, had 13 assists, and he's the only guy that was even playing. You're not watching the games. It's just ridiculous.
Well, no, some people go into it with the pre-advanced
The Ramones thing.
blame, right. I hate LeBron, so no matter what, I'm going to blame everything on LeBron. 877-710-ESPN. We'll get some calls in here next. Plus, John, I can't also throw this in there for a little lightness. There's a movie coming out that was made for you.
Excellent.
For you. 877-710-ESPN. Mason, Ireland, 710-ESPN.